I never expected a routine car breakdown to upend my entire life. Smoke billowed from under the hood of my old Honda Civic as I pulled into the dusty lot of AutoFix garage in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, my heart pounding from the near miss on the highway. Little did I know, the mechanic who greeted me, tall, rugged Jake with his straight-laced demeanor and wedding band glinting in the sun, would spark a chain of events that challenged everything I believed about love, identity, and societal norms. The garage smelled of oil and metal, a familiar scent from my childhood visits with my dad, but this time it felt charged with uncertainty. Jake wiped his hands on a rag, his blue eyes locking onto mine with a professional nod. "What seems to be the problem?" he asked, his southern drawl warm yet clipped. I explained the sputtering engine, the odd noises, and how it had stalled twice that week. He popped the hood, his muscles flexing under his fitted shirt as he leaned in, and I couldn't help but notice the way his presence filled the space. Confident, unassuming, the epitome of the all-American straight guy. As he tinkered, we chatted about mundane things. The Atlanta traffic, the Falcons' latest game, my job as a graphic designer in the city. It was easy, natural, but beneath it all, I felt a flicker of attraction I quickly suppressed. I'd come out in college, navigated the dating scene in a progressive pocket of the South, but hitting on a straight married mechanic? That was a recipe for disaster. Hours passed as Jake diagnosed the issue. A faulty fuel injector mixed with some wiring problems. "Gonna take a couple days to fix," he said, scratching his stubbled jaw. "You got a ride home?" I didn't. My roommate was out of town, and Ubers were pricey. To my surprise, he offered to drive me in his truck after his shift. "No big deal," he shrugged. "Wife's at her sister's tonight anyway." The ride was awkward at first, silence broken by country music on the radio, but soon we delved deeper. He shared about his high school football days, his marriage to Sarah right after graduation, the pressure from his conservative family to settle down. I opened up about my art, my move from a small town where being gay meant whispers and stares. "Sounds tough," he said, glancing at me with genuine empathy. "My brother's gay, actually. Came out last year. Family's still adjusting." That revelation hung in the air, bridging an invisible gap. Back at my apartment, I invited him in for a beer as thanks. We sat on the couch, the conversation flowing like we'd known each other forever. He talked about the monotony of his life, the garage, the mortgage, the unspoken doubts about his path. "Sometimes I wonder if I rushed into everything," he admitted, his voice low. I nodded, sharing my own fears of never finding someone who truly understood me in a world that still judged. Our eyes met, and for a moment the room felt smaller, the air thicker. He leaned in slightly, then pulled back, clearing his throat. I should go. But as he stood, his hand brushed mine, lingering just a second too long. Was it accidental? My pulse raced as he left, leaving me replaying the evening in my mind. The next day, I walked back to the garage, my thoughts tangled. Jake was under my car, tools clanging. "Almost done," he called out. We avoided the previous night's intimacy at first, sticking to small talk, but tension simmered. When he finished, he handed me the keys, our fingers touching again. "No charge for the ride," he said with a half-smile. I thanked him, but as I drove away, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Hey, it's Jake. Forgot to mention. If you need anything else, hit me up." My stomach flipped. Was this just friendly, or something more? Over the following weeks, our texts evolved from car advice to daily check-ins. He'd complain about slow days at work. I'd share funny client stories. One evening, he invited me to a local bar for wings and beer. "Sarah's out with friends," he explained. At the bar, under dim lights, he opened up more, about feeling trapped in his marriage, the societal expectations of being the man of the house in a Bible Belt town. "Everyone assumes I'm this straight arrow guy," he said, frustration etching his face. I listened, my own emotions swirling. I dated guys before, but this felt different, raw, forbidden. As the night wore on, he admitted, "Talking to you, it's like I can breathe." Our knees touched under the table, and neither of us moved away. But guilt crept in. He was married. Straight, or so he claimed. I wrestled with my conscience, knowing pursuing this could shatter lives. Yet the pull was undeniable. One rainy afternoon, he showed up at my door unannounced, soaked from the storm. "I needed to see you," he said, his eyes intense. We talked for hours, the conversation turning to his internal conflict. "I've never felt this way about a guy," he confessed, his voice trembling. "But with you, it's real." My heart ached for him. For us, we hugged goodbye, a platonic embrace that lingered, charged with unspoken desire. Society's shadows loomed larger. Whispers at the garage about Jake hanging out with that gay designer reached my ears through mutual friends. His family, devout Christians, would never accept this. My own friends warned me, "He's using you to figure himself out. It'll end in heartbreak." The conflicts mounted. His wife's suspicions leading to arguments at home, my growing fear of being the other in a hidden affair. Yet we couldn't stay away. One night, after a heated text exchange about his doubts, he called. "I think I'm falling for you," he whispered. The words hung heavy, a turning point. But with them came the storm. Sarah confronted him about our messages she'd seen. The drama escalated, pulling in families, friends, and the small-town gossip mill. The confrontation with Sarah changed everything. Jake showed up at my apartment late that night, his eyes red-rimmed, clothes disheveled. "She knows," he said, collapsing onto the couch. "Saw our texts. Thinks I'm having an affair." I froze, guilt washing over me. "Are you?" I asked softly. He shook his head. "Not like that, but, yeah, emotionally." We talked through the night, dissecting his marriage. A union born from high school sweethearts pressured by parents and church expectations. "I love her, but it's not passion," he admitted. "With you, it's different. Alive." I shared my side, the loneliness of being gay in a world that still marginalized us, the fear of investing in someone who might retreat back to safety. The next day, Jake filed for separation, citing irreconcilable differences. The news spread like wildfire through our circles. His family disowned him temporarily, calling it a phase induced by bad influences. My own community was divided. Some cheered the potential romance, others accused me of homewrecking. "He's not even out," a friend snapped. "You're setting yourself up for pain." The societal clashes intensified. At work, Jake faced homophobic jabs from coworkers, whispers about his sudden switch. In Atlanta's LGBTQ+ scene, I encountered judgment for converting a straight man, a trope that fueled debates about fluidity versus predation. Despite the chaos, our bond deepened. We met in secret at first coffee shops on the outskirts, long drives through Georgia's rolling hills. Jake explored his identity, attending a support group for late bloomers. "I always felt something was off," he confided during a picnic in Piedmont Park. "Repressed it because of how I was raised." I supported him, but doubts nagged. Was this genuine, or a rebound? Our first real date, a quiet dinner at a hole-in-the-wall Italian place, felt magical, laughter mingling with vulnerability. But as we left, a former high school buddy of Jake's spotted us, his glare speaking volumes. The backlash peaked when Jake's brother, the one who'd come out earlier, reached out. "You're brave," he said over the phone. "But be careful. Dad's furious." Family dinners turned into battlegrounds, with Bible verses thrown like weapons. Jake's mother cried, pleading for him to pray the confusion away. On my end, my conservative relatives from rural Georgia distanced themselves, echoing similar sentiments. The drama wasn't just personal. It mirrored broader societal rifts, debates on social media about bisexuality, the ethics of leaving a marriage for self-discovery, and the impact on children, though Jake and Sarah had none. One evening, amid the turmoil, Jake proposed we go public. "I'm ready," he said, holding my hand in his truck. We attended a pride event in Midtown, his first. The colors, the crowds. It overwhelmed him, but he stayed, our fingers intertwined. Photos circulated online, igniting more controversy. Sarah's friends accused me of manipulation. Jake's old teammates shunned him. Yet, In quiet moments, like watching sunsets from his now empty apartment, we found solace. "This is worth it," he murmured, his head on my shoulder. But cracks appeared. Jake missed the familiarity of his old life, the straight privilege, the uncomplicated social standing. Arguments flared. "You don't understand how hard this is." He'd snap when I pushed for more commitment. I retaliated with my insecurities. "Are you sure you're not just experimenting?" The kitchen built, logic threading through our choices, each decision weighed against potential fallout. A pivotal moment came during a family intervention. Jake's parents ambushed him at their home, a pastor in tow. "This lifestyle is a sin," the pastor intoned. Jake stood firm. "It's not a lifestyle. It's who I am." He left, driving straight to me, tears streaming. "I choose you," he said, but the emotional toll mounted, leading to a temporary break. "I need space to process," he explained, leaving me devastated. Weeks of radio silence followed, amplifying my isolation. Friends rallied, but the void ached. Then a knock, Jake with flowers. "I can't deny this anymore." Reconciliation brought relief, but the scars lingered, setting the stage for deeper conflicts. With reconciliation came a fragile peace, but societal pressures didn't relent. Jake lost his job at the garage. His boss, a longtime family friend, cited distractions, but the homophobia was palpable. "Can't have that kind of drama here," he'd said. Jake scrambled for work, landing a gig at a more progressive auto shop in the city, but the pay cut strained him. "I feel like I'm starting over," he vented one night, pacing my living room. I offered support, but my own career suffered. Clients pulled projects after hearing rumors, fearing association with controversy. The romance blossomed amid the adversity. We moved in together, a cozy apartment in Decatur, symbolizing commitment. Mornings started with coffee and kisses, evenings with deep talks about dreams deferred. But external forces intruded. Anonymous hate mail, online trolls labeling Jake a traitor to straight norms. A particularly vicious post went viral in local forums, sparking debates on whether sexual orientation could change, or if it was societal influence. "He's not gay. He's confused," commenters argued, while others defended fluidity. Family reconciliations were tentative. Jake's brother mediated a meeting with their parents. "We love you, but we don't approve," his father grumbled. His mother hugged him tearfully. "Just be happy." On my side, a cousin reached out, sharing her own coming-out story, bridging gaps. Yet, these steps forward were marred by setbacks. Sarah filed for divorce, citing emotional abandonment, and in court, details of our relationship emerged, fueling tabloid-like gossip in small-town papers. A major conflict arose when Jake's ex-best friend, Mike, confronted us at a bar. "You ruined his life," Mike snarled at me. Jake defended, "No, I found my truth." The altercation escalated into a shoving match, drawing police. No charges, but the incident highlighted the physical risks of visibility in less tolerant areas. We debated moving, perhaps to San Francisco or New York, but roots in Atlanta held us. "This is home," Jake insisted. "We fight here." Emotionally, we navigated uncharted waters. Jake grappled with internalized homophobia, questioning if his feelings were real during therapy sessions. "What if I'm bi?" he pondered. I encouraged exploration. "Labels don't matter." "We do." But jealousy flared when he reconnected with old friends, including women. "Are you sure?" I'd ask, insecurity bubbling. Our arguments were raw, logic clashing with emotion, choices like attending couples counseling versus going solo. High drama peaked at a community event. Invited to speak at an LGBTQ+ panel on late coming out stories, Jake shared his journey. The audience was split. Applause mixed with boos from those who saw him as opportunistic. "You had straight privilege and threw it away," one shouted. Backstage, he broke down. "Is this worth it?" I held him. "Yes, because it's authentic." As tensions simmered, a new twist. Sarah reached out to Jake, not in anger, but understanding. "I see now you were never fully there," she said over coffee. The meeting brought closure, but stirred my fears. "What if you go back?" I confessed. He reassured, "I'm here." Yet, the encounter ignited public speculation, with blogs debating the ethics of stealing someone from a hetero marriage. Through it all, our love grew resilient, forged in fire. Picnics turned to plans for the future, travel, maybe adoption. But the path was fraught, each step a choice laden with consequence. The resilience of our relationship was tested further when Jake's job at the new shop thrived. But with it came overtures from a coworker, a openly gay man named Alex. "He's just friendly," Jake dismissed, but late nights at work fueled my paranoia. "You're new to this world," I argued. "Boundaries matter." The jealousy culminated in a blowout fight. "You think I'll cheat because I'm straight?" he yelled. We slept in separate rooms, the silence deafening. Reconciliation came via therapy, where we unpacked triggers, my past heartbreaks, his fear of judgment. Societal debates amplified our personal strife. A local news segment on rising divorce rates due to sexual fluidity featured anonymized stories like ours, sparking online furor. Supporters hailed it as progress. Critics decried it as moral decay. Jake's family, swayed by the coverage, attempted another intervention, this time with ultimatums. "Choose us or him." He chose us, but the rift deepened, leading to no contact. In the midst of this, a positive turn, Jake proposed a weekend getaway to the Blue Ridge Mountains. Amid hiking trails and cabin fires, we reconnected deeply. "I love you," he said under starlit skies, no reservations. But upon return, reality crashed. A vandalism incident at our apartment, slurs spray-painted on the door. Police investigated as a hate crime, but no leads. The fear shifted our dynamic. Jake became protective. I withdrew emotionally. Conflicts with friends escalated. My best friend, Lisa, pulled away. "This drama is too much." Jake's circle shrank further. We leaned on each other, but isolation bred resentment. "Sometimes I miss the simplicity," he admitted during a low moment. The logic was clear. Our choices had costs, but were they sustainable? A turning point arrived via an unexpected ally, Jake's former boss, who apologized after his own son came out. "I was wrong," he said, offering Jake his old job back with protections. The gesture symbolized shifting norms, but acceptance was uneven. At a family wedding, Jake attended alone, facing snubs. "They asked about Sarah," he reported sadly. My heart broke, fueling a decision. I proposed we elope, a quiet ceremony to affirm our commitment. Planning brought joy, but drama lurked. Leaked news incited more backlash. Petitions from church groups decrying mockery of marriage. We proceeded, exchanging vows in a secluded garden, witnesses limited to accepting friends. The day was perfect, emotions raw. Tears of joy mixed with sorrow for absent loved ones. Post-wedding, life stabilized somewhat. Jake embraced activism, volunteering at LGBTQ+ centers. I channeled experiences into art, exhibitions drawing crowds. Yet undercurrents of doubt persisted. "Do you regret leaving her?" I asked one night. "Never," he replied. But the question lingered, a seed for future storms. As high as the highs were, lows followed. A health scare, Jake's routine checkup revealing stress-related issues, forces reflection. This life we chose. "It's hard," he said from the hospital bed. Recovery strengthened us, but highlighted vulnerabilities. Stability proved illusory when Jake's parents, prompted by his brother's persistence, extended an olive branch. A tense dinner ensued, conversations skirting the elephant. Our marriage. "We're trying," his mother said stiffly. Progress, but superficial. Meanwhile, Sarah remarried, her happiness a bittersweet reminder. "I'm glad for her," Jake mused, but envy flickered in his eyes for her normal life. Our bond faced its ultimate test during a national debate on LGBTQ+ rights, with Georgia's policies in flux. Jake testified at a hearing, sharing his story to advocate for protections. The exposure invited threats, harassing calls, doxing. We hired security, but paranoia set in. "Is this the price?" I questioned. He nodded. For authenticity, yes. Emotional choices defined us. Jake explored bisexuality openly, attending events. It helps me understand, he explained. I supported, but fears of drift arose. A near miss, flirtatious texts from Alex discovered. It was nothing, Jake swore, deleting them. Trust waned, leading to couples retreat. There, we rebuilt, confronting societal influences on our psyches. Climax built as Jake's family fully reconciled after his father's heart attack. Life's too short, the old man grumbled, hugging us both. The moment was cathartic, symbolizing broader acceptance. But not without cost. Old wounds reopened, therapy intensified. In quieter times, we dreamed big, adopting, traveling. Atlanta evolved around us, pride parades growing, laws progressing. Our story inspired others, with Jake mentoring young questioners. Yet, controversies persisted. Debates on whether stories like ours encouraged confusion or celebrated truth. Years in, contentment settled, but reflections on paths taken lingered. The engine trouble that started it all became a metaphor, breakdowns leading to rebuilds. Was Jake's journey a true awakening? Or did societal pressures force a choice he might regret?